Aztec Ford, joining the Cannons. Max, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How you guys doing?
We're doing well, Max. We're just a little curious, Max, on your current status right now. Give us a little update on the season for Max Montana.
So my status now is, I want to say that my whole overall body, including my mental, is at like a 90% right now. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys all saw the injury, what happened. So
Sure.
I mean, it looked really bad, and it felt pretty bad. But the great thing is that there was no structural damage, which is awesome. So it's just kind of that thing where it's a bone bruise, and it's kind of sounds a little more weak than it actually is. It's a bone bruise is tough, man, and it really hurts. But it's getting a lot better, and I'm really happy where I am right now, and just trying to improve every day.
Hey, Max, when it first happens, what goes through the mind? Do you immediately go to the worst case scenario, like, okay, that's it?
Yeah, 1,000%. I mean, especially something like that where it just bends the wrong way. You're just like, wow, But I know my body really well. I've had a few knee injuries, so I kind of knew right away that I was going to be okay. Me having all the adrenaline and being as competitive as I was like, I'm good, coach, leave me in, But Coach Dutch was like, no, that's not happening.
Yeah, he had a different angle of it, and he's like, no, it's not supposed to bend that way, Max.
Yeah, listen, just sit down.
Right.
Max, you've had quite a legacy already. I mean, you've crisscrossed the country in your high school career. Obviously, you started your collegiate career at Indiana. Let's go back to that freshman season at Indiana.
Yeah.
What is it like to play basketball in a state like Indiana, at a university like Indiana, where, let's face it, there isn't anything other than basketball?
Yeah, I mean, it's an experience like no other. You learn so much, and you're just kind of thrown into like the biggest fire you could ever imagine. And it was an honestly amazing experience, and I learned so much. And only nothing but high praise for all those coaches who've coached there, because it's so tough having all those fans just going nuts, because that's their religion is basketball, So it was tough, and it was really good, really highs and lows, but overall learned so much and wouldn't have changed, anything about my first college.
Let me ask you this. How much does the legacy of Bobby Knight still hang over that program?
I don't think it'll ever leave, just being as iconic as he was, like his legend is always going to be, you know what I mean? Everyone's going to always say, oh, Bobby Knight, So I think it's very, very much, very still prevalent over there.
Aztecs junior forward Max Montana with us here on the Loose Cannons. Big game Thursday night. You're going to hear right here on Xtra as the Aztecs and Gonzaga get together. Max, the layoff you guys have had since your last game, Coach Dutcher kind of referred to it as almost a pre-season sort of way to kind of go back, maybe getting back in a little better shape, correct some things. How's the layoff been for you? How's the layoff been for the team?
I think all of us are just, kind of itching in practice, kind of jawing at each other, just wanting to play somebody else but ourselves, So that's kind of the hard part. But if we can just stay focused and just worry about getting better every day, because that's the only thing that really matters in a stretch like this, I think we'll be right where we want to be.
I was going to say, and especially the way that Cal game went, Max. Those are tough, man. I mean, it's all when you have a game like that where you seemingly have a game in hand and it gets away. The thing you want to do is get back out on the court immediately. That makes, I guess, extra tough with this layoff.
1,000%. It's not the way you want to go into a 2-week no playing stretch, but that's, for the most part, we've dealt with it, and we're just moving forward. You know what I mean? That's it.
Max, obviously, you with Coach Fisher. Dutch, obviously, has always been there by his side. Is he any different now as the head coach than he was as lead assistant? Have you noticed any differences at all in Dutch this season?
I don't want to say differences, because Dutch kind of has always been his thing. I think the main thing is just kind of the image for him, is getting more pressure on himself. But that's something that he shouldn't worry about, you know what I mean? But as far as a coach, Dutch has always been, very consistent in what he does, and he does a great job at it. So I think we're all happy with him.
Max, back to the time at Indiana and Bloomington to now playing inside Viejas Arena. How different were the atmospheres, or are they very similar in nature?
I would actually say that they're pretty similar. We have really diehard fans that are awesome and show out every game. I don't want to say there's much of a difference, except that Indiana was just a little bigger. They hold like 18,000. I think we hold 12,000.
Mm-hmm.
And the assembly hall, the layout is just so historical and iconic. And when you see those 5 huge banners right there, it's just really it's a sight, and it's really awesome to play there. But here is equally as awesome for the West Coast. I would say is the best place to play on the West Coast, in my opinion. I mean, as far as atmosphere and yeah.
Max, you have dual citizenship still. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I still have that.
I mean, United States and Germany. You went to Calabasas. I know that area well. Then you went to the East Coast, Indiana, back to San Diego. Are you looking for a home, Max? Are you looking for, or do you sort of enjoy the fact that you've been sort of this nomad of sorts in your young life?
Oh man, I'm pretty nomadic, I guess. That was kind of the thing. Going at all these places, I just kind of wanted to get noticed. I feel like when I was in high school in Calabasas, I was pretty under-touted, just kind of story of my life. So I wanted to get out and gain more exposure on the East Coast. But that was the thing for me to come back to California. So I mean, I'm 2 hours away from my family and where I live. So I would pretty much say that I'm home right now.
Max, finally, before we let you go, the key to beating Gonzaga on Thursday night, what do you guys absolutely have to do, aside from score more points?
Yeah, I think we just have to put the ball in the basket more times than they do. No, I'm just kidding. But no, man, Gonzaga's an awesome team. Everybody knows that. Their legacy as a program is awesome. So nothing but respect for them. But I think the main thing for us is to just get back in transition. Don't let their bigs get good post position on us, and just play overall sound defense, rebound, and do what we do, man. I mean, last game was an awful shooting performance from half of our team, and that's not going to happen again. So just moving forward and having a positive outlook and energy about everything, and I'm pretty excited about the rest of the season.
Absolutely, and with that conference schedule around the corner, we need a healthy Max Montana. Max, get healthier, and let's get a big victory on Thursday night.
No doubt. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
there he
Max.
is, Max Montana. Interesting guy.
Yeah, and again, if it doesn't work out playing professional basketball, ambassadorship to Germany,
how about that,
or some other country, I think is right up his alley.
But think about he was a California kid with a dual citizenship, U.S. and Germany.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes to Massachusetts to finish out his high school career. Then he ends up at Indiana. I mean, playing at Indiana basketball has got to be unreal. And as he said, the Bob Knight is still it.
Right.